Hello, you join me in a very hasty recording session before I go to work, and we're going to do some blinds. I hate when these little thingies get stuck in there. So if you don't know the rules, it's basically this. You know what is going to be in these two glasses because you see it in the title, down there or up there or whatever, and it's in the description, right? Which I'm going to write up afterwards. But I do not know. I just have these little bottles in front of me from my friend Tan. Thank you, Tan, by the way. And I'm going to pour and taste them and rate them and describe them as best I can. Ooh. So part of the fun is seeing if I can guess what these things are with any degree of accuracy. But also, this is about like giving you my impressions of this stuff, having no friggin' idea what it is. Blinds are great. Blinds are things I feel like every reviewer should have in their diet somewhere. I don't think they're the be-all, end-all reviews because sometimes it's nice having preconceptions just to understand what the hell a spirit is doing, or at least some extra time to have with it. You can't get what everything is doing in 20 minutes. Some things just don't work like that. But you should definitely be doing some blinds if you review spirits on the regular. Okay. Again, I have no idea what these are, but they do have some nice deep dark color. The only thing I can surmise, aside from the color, aside from before I taste these, is sample one here. Sample two had the full 2 ounces in this. There's still about an ounce left in there for me to enjoy after this. Sample number one was only the 1 ounce. So that means, okay, it could be Tan just trying to trip me up. Like this could be Bacardi 8 or something. But it could be also a sign of something that's very, very expensive or very limited and he can't get more of it. So we shall see. All right, I'm going to start with, what is this? Remove to reveal number one. Here we go. Okay, so the last couple of times I've done blinds, I've gotten in trouble because I kind of jumped to conclusions too quickly. So this time I'm going to kind of sneak up on it, like a sneaky cat. Okay, so what I'm getting is, it's a little bit industrial. There's a little bit of a kind of burned rubber thing going on, but not too much. It doesn't smell like a Caroni or anything. There's certainly some, what is that? Almost like a citrus syrup kind of thing. You know, like what is that? What's the dessert with like the kind of lemony orange syrup? I feel there's a dessert that has that, and I can't think of what it is. I'm kind of smelling that. Certainly a little bit of oakiness, a hint of, not even vanilla. It's more like just kind of a generalized baking spice kind of thing. A little cinnamon, nutmeg perhaps. But all just kind of muddled together. Dried fruit, certainly, some dried cherries. Lots of black pepper. Very, very black peppery. I'm not getting a whole lot of alcohol nip on this, which just could just be the nature of the nose, but it could also just mean this is bottled, closer to 40% than say like 80. A little bit of tobacco on this too, like a Virginia Latakia blend. A little bit of smokiness, not too much. Actually, throw some Lapsang Souchong in there as well. It's interesting. It's okay. Let me kind of. I've done enough sneaking. This smells like rum to me. First of all, I would be shocked if this. My mind would be blown if this was not a rum. Let me start with that. I suppose in like a Cartesian universe, maybe there's a malevolent spirit systematically tricking me so that this is in fact not a rum. Um, but outside, and if that's the case, I should be, proving the existence of an all good God before I even taste this. But assuming, we're not in that scenario, I think this is a rum. So my initial thought with that kind of burned rubber thing was maybe this is what we call a traditional rum. So molasses based, short column distilled, continuously distilled, but not to a really refined degree, coming off at in the 80s, say, rather than the high 90s, percentage wise. But the more I'm spending time with this, so there's a little herbaceousness coming out, the more I'm thinking that's not quite what this is. The wood here is really unusual. I mean, there's a spicy, like almost a red curry thing happening, but it's not from the distillate. I think that's from the wood. Are enough of my blabbing? I'm gonna give this a shot on the palate. Here we go. Extremely interesting. So again, my there is some prickliness going on, but I don't think that's from the alcohol. I think that's just from the nature of the spirit. This comes across as, at least on initial contact, as fairly young. I don't think this is in its teens at all. I do think it's tropically aged. There's a lot of pepper, quite a lot of black pepper on this. Actually, a lot of this falls from the nose. There's that kind of the lapsang thing, kind of that weird lemon orange syrup thing. Hints of burned rubber. Little like a eucalyptus thing married to the Virginia Latakia flake. That thing is back. English breakfast tea is in there. Is in the mix. Baking spices again. Some allspice in there now, along with the cinnamon. That curry note. This is. I think a lot of what's doing the weirdness here is actually the wood. I wouldn't be surprised if there was actually fairly. I wouldn't say normal-ish, normaler distillate under this. I still don't think it's very high in proof. I don't think it's 40%, but I wouldn't think it was higher than the mid 50s. Say, well, we'll add water in a second. I don't know. So initially, again, there are notes in this that make me think, traditional molasses-based column-distilled rum. But there's other elements that are not. The kind of medicinal character. I mean, it's the rubberiness is really what's pushing me in that direction. The burn rubber thing. It's not as extreme as Caroni. I don't think this is Caroni. It feels too young to be Caroni, for one thing. So it could be what? It could be it could be like something, something from Cuba, maybe. It could be something from Savannah, one of their traditional rums. But it could be even like a barbancourt or something from Haiti. Actually, this could be cane juice based. I don't know. But it feels like it's a relatively light, whatever this is, it feels like it's a relatively light distillate that's gone in a pretty extreme barrel, like maybe a Madeira barrel or something. That's kind of the impression I'm getting. I could be totally wrong, and you're free to laugh at me right now. I'll try this one more time. Yeah, if you took like a kind of youngish barbancourt or even like a youngish traditional Savannah, or Cuban for that matter, and threw it in and gave it a Madeira finish or something, I could imagine it tasting something like this. I don't know though. I don't know why I would. All right, now add a squirt of water to this. See what that does. If it drowns it, I'll know it was like really low proof. No, that's pretty much tamed it actually. It's still very prickly. I think that's just the cask. There's a lot of cask going on in this. Interesting. Okay. I'm not sure what I think about that. All right, let's move on to blind number 2. Here we go. On the nose. Also very interesting. So I'm getting a lot of, there's like a thick oaky syrup kind of thing going on. Both these are very oak driven actually. This one doesn't feel like it's necessarily something super duper special. It just feels like it's, you know, heavy American oak that's been tropically aged. It's got that. So oak syrup, let's let that be the first tasting note. I will sneak up on this. Very kind of medicinal. Let's bring some menthol, like cough lozenge kinds of notes. Herbs, also a little bit of like a burned rubber thing. These could be from the same distillery. Maybe Tan is playing a trick on me here. It's like high cacao dark chocolate. Root beer? Or really like birch beer. That's what this smells like. Herbaceous black pepper. Did I mention black pepper? That kind of breakfast tea note again. And a kind of like, there's a smokiness intermingling with the kind of oak syrup thing, almost like a sweet smokiness. It makes me think of Guyana, actually. Interesting. This one I'm not sure. It's this one is also kind of puzzling to me. For different reasons. I mean, my mind first goes to like on those with this goes to like, you know, northeastern Caribbean, South America. I think of Guyana, like tropically aged, you know, Demerara has that kind of sweet smoky thing. But there's other like the medicinal thing, the cough lozenge thing is really reminding me more of some old Angosturas that I've had, some Trinidad rum. But then there's that kind of rubbery note again. I don't know. We'll see. All right. This does have a little bit more nip to it on the nose, so I'm wondering if this is a little bit higher in alcohol. Here we go on the palate. Oh, a lot more alcohol than the other one. Jesus, that kicks. Oh, I really like this. Okay. Description: very peppery. Just piles and piles and piles of black pepper. The oak syrup thing. So just like, you know, boil down your oak, and you know, like, but you know, like, and then like make a tonic out of it and drink it. That's kind of what this is doing. That kind of cough lozenge, throat lozenge thing, that is back. Like, I've been sick more often this winter than I think I've ever had. And I really wish I'd have had a bottle of this by my side, you know, whenever I was coughing, just to kind of clear my sinuses out. This feels older than this one. It is a more oaky, but it also just hangs on for longer. It's kind of covering more of my palate. This one is kind of the finish is much shorter, and it's the mouth length. You know, how far it travels back in my mouth, neat at least, is not very serious. This is much more. This hangs on like crazy with this kind of medicinal throat lozenge, leafy, menthol-y kind of note. This feels like some kind of Austrian after-dinner drink, and I'm really enjoying it. I should say again, I would be shocked if this is not rum. Like, I could see maybe a cognac or something leaning in this direction, but I really don't think so. I think this is rum. I don't know if it's column still or pot still. I can't tell. Because I've had column distillates, like the Angosturas, that can behave with this kind of weight to them. So I don't know. I really like this. I'm going to add some water and see where it goes. I do think it's like fairly traditional American oak cask. I think the weirdness is coming from the distillate and just a lot of time in the warehouse. 2, 3. I know this is going to need at least 3. Okay. It takes 3 with no problem. It takes 4 with no problem. Will it take 5? Kind of scared to keep going past 5. But I will if I need to. Yeah, this is rocking. I'll give it another half squirt, and we'll leave it at that. Okay, blind number 1, the one I thought would be the super duper limited expensive one, really has a ways to catch up after that. That is a monster right there. Whatever blind number 2 is. That is a very serious rum. Okay, I mean, maybe it isn't a rum. I don't know, but I'm pretty darn sure it's a rum. All right, back to blind number 1. Okay, it's gotten even weirder. Now we're starting to throw some like lemon pith at me. Some flowers. Very different nose. Very kind of there's like a lemon meringue thing happening. It's very lemony. It's and most of the like lemon desserty even. So now I'm really wondering, is this like a Tokai cask, a Sauterne cask? I could totally see this being like a Sauterne cask or something. Or I don't know if it's full term or like a finish but it is absolutely dominating this. It's in any case, I think I'm 90% sure this has seen some time in like a dessert wine cask. Like that's just the sense I'm getting. This reminds me a lot of some Madeira finishes, Sauterne finishes that I've had. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. I haven't really had a dessert Riesling finish yet. There aren't a lot of really oak-aged dessert Rieslings, honestly, so maybe that's not so shocking. Yeah, like lemon meringue and like lemon with some lemon pith on the side is now what this is smelling like. Slightly grassy too. That little lapsang note is still there, but it's way in the background. On the palate, medicinal, but in a very different way from the blind number 2. Lemon pith, lemon peel, lots of lemon syrup. Kind of a gentle grassiness. I'm starting to think this is like an agricole rum, or at least something cane based. I'm sorry, cane juice based. Because it's got that kind of grassy, floral, herbaceous thing, which I sometimes get in aged, like rums from Martinique, for example. But it does have that kind of lemony thing, that kind of lemony dessert thing hanging over top of it. So I don't know. I'm going to give this another shot. Yeah, I don't think this is that old, and it's definitely not bottled at high strength. I would guess it's not 40%. Oh, okay, let me go into my guess, and then we'll do a reveal. How about that? Let me give this. Actually, I'll give this a score as well. Give this one more shot. It's not bad. It's just not. It's not popping for me, really. It's kind of nice. Wouldn't mind a glass of it, but it's a little basic. I would give this 83 points. 83 points, and I'll tell you what I think it is. Initially, I was thinking traditional molasses-based column distilled. Now I'm thinking cane juice. Because of how it behaved with water, I'm thinking cane juice based, perhaps an agricole, Martinique maybe, maybe something weird from Guadalupe. I don't know, but I would guess Martinique, and it's just been relatively young. I would guess no more than like 4 years old, and I don't know if it's a finish or whatever, but maybe some time spent in a white wine based dessert cask. So Madeira, Sauterne, Tokai, one of those. Maybe I would lean Sauterne, but I don't know. Just because that's more common. All right, and let's see what we got. I am supposed to peel to remove. Ah, it's tearing. Let me try peeling from the other side. Don't tear, don't tear, don't tear. This is... Oh no! It is a Long Pond, 1977. 30, no, you're kidding me. There's no way. There's no way this is 35 years old. There's no way. Okay. I know we're supposed to respect all the old spirits and stuff. This isn't that great. I was completely off in my guess. I got rum right, I guess. I don't know if I got the strength right. I definitely got the age wrong, and I got the cask wrong. So there we go. Let's put that there. Jesus. Striking out again. I cannot believe that it's 35 years old. That's crazy. I was thinking 4. Okay, let's move on to what is sure to be my second failure. Blind number 2. Now it's starting to get more kind of, well, Demerara on me. I'm getting molassesy notes, some dried fruit kinds of things. Delicately smoky. I need to wrap this up and get going to work. Pancake syrup, but nice. The kind of the menthol-y thing is kind of faded, which is, I kind of like the menthol-y thing. Let's hope it stays around on the palate. Here we go. That's still blazing hot. Jesus. Oh, I didn't mention it, but with blind number 1, I was thinking maybe 45%, but I probably didn't get that right either. Okay, 6 squirts, and it finally feels like it's calming down. Yeah, it's very Demerara, but it except for that kind of medicinal character, which makes me think more Angostura. But now I have no confidence whatsoever in my ability to guess this. Let me get some more descriptions on the table. It just gets kind of more molassesy, a little bit more oak syrupy with water. it does remove the nip, obviously, which is important for something this strong. And I'm guessing this is pushing 70% ABV. In fact, I'm just going to guess this is 70% ABV. But it also just kind of brings out the sweetness and kind of deadens down some of the fun medicinal cough lozenge notes. They're still there, but they're just kind of toned down. Yeah, it's oak syrup, and then the background, the medicinal stuff, the smoky stuff. There's some pepper, kind of front and center. The tannins are nice and grippy. The finish is very, very long on this. I should guess Demerara, but I'm not going to. Against my better judgment, I'm not going to. I am going to guess Trinidad. I'm going to guess Angostura, maybe. Circa 20 years old, 70-odd% maybe, and probably just good old-fashioned American oak ex-bourbon cask. But we shall see how wrong I am in just a moment. Oh God, this is tearing badly. Ah, God. 10. Cat. Oh, no, not again. Come on. Well, I was right about the Trinidad thing. Oh, wrong about the proof. Caroni, 1992, at 60.2%. So at least I got the country right. It's Caroni and not Angostura. Wait, I didn't give this a rating. I was going to give this like this is going to be like an 89 for me. So, in fact, let me write that down. I guess that doesn't count since it came after the reveal. This is really nice. And it's definitely not clubbing me over the head with, burning tires like I expect from Caroni. Okay, so again, wrong about well, I got the country right. I got rum right. I'm pretty sure I got the cask right too. I'm guessing American oak. Strength, I overshot it. I gave this like almost 6.5 squirts of water, and it's still like just kicking me with alcohol. Okay, so yeah, there you go. I am wrong about everything. Thank you for watching. Hope you were entertained. Long Pond, 77, 35-year-old, 83 points. If you bought this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hopefully it still retains its value. Just don't open it. Caroni 1992, 60.2%. I don't know any of the details on these. I'll put them below as I look them up. 89 points. One of the best Caronis I've ever had, if not the best, but you're never going to be able to find this. So just keep in mind that sometimes I do like this distillery, I guess. Well, not that I don't like it. I just don't think it's worth the money. Okay, that was a disaster. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go to work. Bye.